Hi, I am Jeremiah Taylor, a real estate and business attorney in Utah. Today I'll be answering the question, what will happen if a commercial lease leaves out the rent amount? Although I am a lawyer, this content should not be considered legal advice for your particular situation. There was a shoe business in Park City that wanted to rent a store that was being built on Main Street. It negotiated with the landlord and both sides signed a document called Basic Lease Terms. The parties agreed that the rent would be based on a percentage of the shoe business's sales over a certain amount. The document contained all the terms of the lease, such as how long it would be and the specific location, but it did not state the percentage that would be used to determine the rent amount. While the shoe business waited for the building to be finished, it purchased a lot of shoes and did other things to get ready to move in. Then the landlord sent the shoe business a letter stating that they did not have an agreement and that it could not lease the store based on the terms they had discussed. The shoe business sued the landlord, arguing that they had a contract. In the end, the court held in favor of the landlord. It explained that in order to enforce a contract, all of the important aspects of the contract must be defined. The court said that the parties never agreed on an amount of rent or a percentage that could be used to determine the amount of rent, or any other mechanism that one might use to determine what the rent amount was. The court explained that it cannot just make up a rent amount that one or both parties have not agreed to. Even though the shoe store thought it had a binding contract, specifically a binding lease agreement, there was no contract. There was only an agreement to agree, which is not enforceable in court. In this situation, it was the tenant who lost out, but it just as easily could have been the landlord if the tenant had decided to skip town and not rent the store. Whether you are a landlord or a tenant, or a party to any contract for that matter, it is important to make sure that all important aspects of the contract are clear and defined. Otherwise, you may not have an enforceable contract. If this content might be helpful to someone you know, please click the thumbs up and share this with your connections. As always, I offer free consultations on real estate and business-related legal disputes and contracts.